Now back to Sports Grumblings on Sirius XM Fantasy Sports Radio.
Go.
All right, here we go. Sports Grumblings live on the highway to hell. Heaven, hell, all the same.
You think so? Quite. I couldn't think of two bigger differences there.
Yeah, but they all come after you're dead, right?
Yeah.
All right, so there you go. Pretty much the same. Hey, you know what? It just occurred to me that there's been something missing from this new studio. And I'm not referring to Rakowski's pink couch that he liked to lounge on in between breaks.
The Cosmo food?
No, we stole all that last week.
Borrowed.
Well, you gave it back later in the evening, as I recall.
Yeah, you know, it just occurred to me that we're in this nice studio. You know, we're surrounded by, like, all these nice distractions, but we haven't heard from our...
Yeah, here it goes.
Oh, here he goes again. He's doing like a half a moonwalk into the studio right now, ladies and gentlemen.
Good evening, gentlemen. I was waiting. I've had a lot to say.
Yeah.
How is everything?
We're fine, Playboy Mike Martino.
All the way on the other side of the glass.
That's right, and I see you actually kept your promise about dressing up as God's gift to women, and I have to say, that bow has to be bigger because it doesn't quite cover all of the junk, if you know what I mean.
Okay, but the idea of the bow not being bigger is so the ladies approach me.
I see.
So see, and notice how I wrote on the tag and a little bit smaller.
Yes.
So you have to come closer to see.
Ah, and then pop goes the weasel.
Exactly. I'm thinking.
Are you getting all this, John? See, you're not a player.
Look, if I was a player, it ended about 30 years ago. That's the problem.
But
This kid's got his whole playa.
You said it wrong. Not player, playa.
Playa.
Yeah. No R.
Any Z's?
No.
No. Okay.
And that's okay because we have a weekly thing devoted to those who may not be as skillful with the ladies. So I'm here to give advice.
Yes, you not only are you God's gift to women, you may be God's guardian angel to geeks, fantasy geeks. So those at home, without further ado, listen closely to your radios, break out your pad and pencil, because here comes Playboy Mike's fantasy tip of the moment.
This is Playboy Mike Martino with your fantasy tip of the moment.
Like Mike, if I could be like Mike.
It's fantasy hoops time, so you better recognize the moves of the world's best players. Learn to be ambidextrous, to use your left hand or right hand.
Oh, yeah.
When the lane opens up in front of you, you need to drive hard to the hole.
Yeah.
Finally, remember that calling a timeout and resetting is okay if your opponent is trying to tie you up.
When are you going to meet my mama?
No thanks. This has been Playboy Mike Martino with your fantasy tip of the moment. Later.
Like Mike, if I could be like Mike. I want to be like Mike. If I could be like Mike.
So I got to ask you a question there, playa.
Sure thing.
How many of these broads are trying to tie you up at any given point?
Well, recently there's been a couple that have tried to put the lock down and use the C word, commitment.
Oh, I was thinking of another C word if you're talking about bothersome women, but we'll skip that for now. Well, as always, highly educational material for the youth of America from Playboy Mike Martino, and we're always happy about that.